This Monday's in March, we wanted to talk a little bit about where we were in our total financial position for UTMB for fiscal year 16. We also wanted to talk about what evolving business models are taking place in the marketplace. We wanted to talk a little bit about where we're going to be in our electronic data warehouse strategy, as well as the committees, sometimes popular, sometimes not popular. So in terms of our financial position, UTMB is right on budget through February. We are seeing some variations in net revenue and expenses, but in total, we're doing very, very well. We're right on our target process. In terms of evolving business models, we talked about what the payment structure primarily will look like in 2018, that Medicare is going to move 50% of their payments to what they call alternative payment models, and how UTMB can look at different business models and make sure we're ready for that difference in payment structures. So we looked at UT Southwestern, and we looked at their relationship with Texas Health Resources. We looked at what Memorial Hermann's Accountable Care Organization does and how it performs. We looked at things like urgent care versus ER, why that's important to our communities and why it's important to the younger consumers of healthcare in the future. We also talked about what we might be doing, UTMB, in terms of our evolving payment models or our evolving care models, understanding that as we look at those models, the quality of care is really what's going to remain important. We need to make sure that we're providing and continue to provide the highest quality of care for our patients, and then cost will take care of itself. So we looked at things like DSRIP, we looked at things like correctional managed care, and we looked at other things like our League City and our Angleton-Danbury campus. We hope that the Angleton-Danbury campus will provide us with a set of patients where we can look at their physician and other provider data. We can determine whether or not we are meeting those patients' needs. We can use that data to address populations in the future, such as diabetes and hypertension. We hope also that we would look at our EDW. What does an EDW mean? How's UTMB going to use our electronic data warehouse as we move into those alternative payment models? An EDW really is an electronic data warehouse and a conglomeration of many different data sources that provide us information on how we best care for our patients in the future. So it takes financial information, it takes human resource information, it takes patient care, bedside information, it takes all kinds of strategic elements, molds them together to provide us data that we can use in a current sense as well as in a predictive sense. How will we need to take care of our patients tomorrow so that we continue that high level of quality of care, but we also make sure that we're sustainable from a payment structure process. And finally, we looked at the committees. There are 3 committees today. Again, as our organization moves into the next phase of maturity and begins to address the populations as population health, we need to make sure that we have business practices in place that can allow us to be sustainable. So we looked at the Real Estate Committee, a committee where all real estate for UTMB is housed, and we make determination about the best strategic value for our organization. We also looked at the Capital Committee, again, a group of folks that take all of the capital requests and the capacity to spend the money that UTMB generates, and then we make sure that we are spending that capital, those capital dollars, on things that make the best strategic sense for UTMB. And finally, we looked at the Business Development Committee. That committee is meant to be a strategic committee. It's meant to hear all strategic ideas that a particular EVP has endorsed and wants to bring forward at an organizational level. It's meant to provide counsel on the different components that need to be involved in standing up that initiative, all the way from nursing, all the way through institutional support. So what buildings, what repairs and maintenance need to be considered in terms of setting up that strategic initiative. Those 3 committees are now foundational to our organization and operate in a very efficient and effective manner in order to bring structure, but also to sustain our business model as we move into the next century. I appreciate you viewing this video today. If you have further questions about any of the topics that were discussed, you can certainly contact my office, and we'll be more than happy to address those with you as we can. Thank you.
UTMB Health, working together to work wonders.